Hi, this is Brian Weatherden. Thank you for joining me here at Exit Strategies for Your Pension. I'm the founder of the website guaranteedincome4life.ca and the author of the book A Lifetime of Wealth and How Not to Lose It. So here we're looking at your pension and your exit strategies for this pension. And there's far more to share here than what I have time to share here in the purposes of this video. So I want you to turn to the website, I want you to turn to the book, and you'll see the credits for that on the bottom of the screen, so you're going to be able to touch base with that. You'll also over time see my email address so that you can reach me. And one of the things I'm going to ask you at the end is to let me know the impact that this is having for you, for the questions you may have, and I want to help you with these kinds of choices. Now, I'm not the only advisor in the world. I'm not the only person that can deal with this. So possibly you are dealing with another properly certified, registered financial planning team, but not just somebody that you met through, well, maybe you know where I'm going with that. So I want to know you've got solid financial professionals who are supporting you. And I want to know that you've got a proper stewardship team. That's subject of another model, but that you've got accounting, legal, you've got your family in this discussion, and you've got proper financial support here. That becomes a stewardship team. Those are a vital resource for you. Okay? That's the most important thing that I can share with you here. But the other most important thing I can share with you here is that I'm not going to tell you, and I'm emphatically not going to tell you, whether you're going to stay in your pension plan or leave the pension plan. That's called staying in the pension plan or commuting your pension to create a personalized pension plan. I don't make that decision. I help people document the decision they're going to make so that it aligns with their core values, their heart and soul and life values to achieve the results they want and to secure those results that are most important for their life and for their family. Now, if I can very quickly just highlight a few key stories, then I want to share 5 F's for you. And I'll describe that in a moment. One story is Marie. Marie said, "No woman in my family has ever lived to 63 years of age. I don't want to leave my money with the pension plan. I want my children, my grandchildren to inherit that. I want to bequeath my pension to my children and grandchildren so they inherit the value of my pension." Only one way to do that. That's to commute and move the pension out of the pension plan, move it into a personalized pension plan. And that's in the book, it's in the website, you can see more about how to do that. You can look at Pat, who commuted her pension because she said, "I'm 62 years of age, I have tremendous knowledge in my field. I'm going to seed a new business. I have something so awesome, I'm going to do this new business. I'm setting up through seed capital from my pension." So she personalizes her pension. She drains the pension value into the business that supports the business and its growth. She says, "There's no way I'm going to draw salary out of my business for the first 3, 4, 5 years, probably even modestly then." By the end of 10 years or 12 years, she has a bit of pension plan left, that personalized plan, but also a business she can sell. Whether she's doing a succession to family that's involved in the business, whether she's doing an outright sale, and she's selling this new nest egg, which is, she says, bigger, she hopes, than what the original pension was. So, and probably more tax effective too. And you look at Eric. And Eric says, "Well, there's no way I want to draw a pension right now. I'm consulting in business and other areas." And he said, "I don't want to draw that pension money in and pay tax on that. I just want to keep it sheltered from tax, keep it growing. And frankly, I'm going to have enough consulting income for quite a while. And so maybe I'll commute the pension. I'm commuting it up front, but maybe I'll start drawing on the pension when I'm 68, 69, 70, 71. And at that point, I'm going to want more flexibility in order to double up my pension income from what the pension trustees originally estimated and say, I want to do much more than what the pension ever would have allowed me to do." Or you say George. George said, "Look, I don't know how long I'm going to live, but I want to live today. I want to do this now." He said the pension plan would have paid me $6,000 odd a month. he said, and minus my tax and so on and so forth, and this would allow me and my wife to do these kinds of things. He said, but we want to travel both hemispheres. We want to travel broadly through the world. There's a lot of things we want to do. You know, maybe when we get into our 70s, we're going to RV around North America and so on. But, you know, first of all, we want to fly, we want to cruise, we want to travel, we want to do vigorous things. We want to travel probably 6 months out of the year. And we're going to spend $10,000 a month at least. He said, and we're going to do that for at least the first 3 to 5 years, maybe longer. And the only way for George and his wife to grab that kind of flexibility is to commute that pension, move it out, align that with these life horizons about early life retirement. Then looking at later, he will spend less, and he's comfortable with that. Later years, you know, health, one thing or another, whenever that happens, he'll need more again. So he can align his money flexibly with the life that he wants. Now, as I promised, there's going to be 5 F's. These 5 F's, very quickly, and you'll recognize these. One was, do you want the flat line? Do you want the life allowance? You know, from your parents, you had an allowance when we were teens. Do you want that allowance still to continue as you're now a pensioner? Flat line means, you know, if it's indexed 2 or 3% for inflation, or some aren't even indexed at all, but you're just going to get your money put in your bank account from the pension plan every month, and you maybe feel comfortable with that. If you do, that's the flat line. Maybe you want flexibility. You've seen where these other people, Marie, Pat, George, Eric, they wanted flexibility to achieve their goals. What are your goals? What are your goals to align this life with your personal capacities, your personal desires, maybe your family needs? There's another person there where their spouse was severely ill, so they weren't spending this money on travel, but they were spending this money on the calamity and catastrophe of tragic illness and needing more resources through these early years. And in future, they would deal otherwise through disposing of property or one thing or another. What are your needs? What are your goals to be flexible with this pension plan to achieve what you need? Okay? And then we have the fortitude. The fortitude would relate to a pension plan if the pension plan is properly indexed for inflation. I mean, if it's indexed for 8%, you're probably not going to leave it unless you have other needs. But if it's at least got 3% indexing, and if it's got the funding, some pension plans are underfunded 10, 20%, some 50, 80+% underfunding. That means they don't have enough money to keep their promises. If they're 50% underfunded, they'll never have the money to keep their promises. You better look at severely what are the choices you're going to have with this. This has happened in the past. People have had their pensions cut 20, 50, and more percent. But if your pension plan is underfunded 6 or 8 or 10%, is that really a risk? I mean, everything has risk. So you might say, well, my pension plan is only underfunded 8%. And I feel strong enough that I want to stay there. There's fortitude there. Or if you say, okay, I'm going to commute that money, move it into a personalized pension plan, then I'm going to say, are you building that in with a proper financial plan, aligned with your financial and your accounting and your legal planning, so that you've got a proper stewardship team there? And I'm hearkening to other modules that I've published to help you through. Look at the website if you want, or the book, and look at the security of, if I commute this pension, how do I keep that money secure? I don't want to be sorry in 5 years' time. So we look at fortitude. Is this money going to stay strong for me through the rest of my 60s, through my 70s, through my 80s? So what if I live to 95? What if I live to 105? What have I layered in that is going to stay strong throughout my future horizons? And then, of course, you've got family. Well, like Marie, she said, I want my family to benefit from this pension. What do you want? What's going to help? Do you want your spouse having a 60% survivor's pension that then ends when they pass on? Or do you want your spouse to be able to continue 100% of your income? Or let's say they have additional needs. Maybe they need to actually increase their pension. If you're gone and they have health needs at that point, maybe they need to double their monthly income to take care of their health needs and their health decisions in those closing years of their life. So only a commuted pension will allow that for your family needs. The 5th F is actually PH, it's philanthropy. And if you go there with me, you'll say, well, maybe my community is more important to me than just leaving the money for the pension trust, okay? So what is it around, whether it's a faith community or philanthropy in your community, what means more? And of course, if you do that, and yes, you could insure your charitable giving, even if you stay with a pension plan. But if you commute the money, you could insure or not insure, but you can simply give money to philanthropy. Let's say a community foundation or other charity, and you can say, well, if I do that, I'm going to have probably tax relief. And that means that what I give to my children, my grandchildren, directly or through trusts, is going to be more tax effective. They're going to have far less tax to pay in my estate because of the charitable giving. So more is covered in the website. More is covered in my book, A Lifetime of Wealth and How Not to Lose It. I hope you've seen this already. I hope you have a copy. I hope you get an extra copy. Give a spare to a friend. Give one to a brother or sister. Give them to your children for Christmas. But here, reach me, brian@sovereignwealth.ca. I want to hear from you what impact this is having for you. I want to know that you're building the proper kind of team around you. I want to know that you're making the decision documented to achieve the security that you want to fit your lifestyle now for the coming season and the future seasons and horizons of your retirement. So thank you for being here with me, Brian Weatherden, with your exit strategies for your pension. And share this with someone else you know in your business, among your friends, in your faculty. Be sure and share this with others. Thank you so much.